This is the reason for all your failures. Sometimes we face many failures in our lives. These failures lead to significant changes and steer us toward negativity. The most important thing is that in such situations, we get angry and fail to make the right decisions. As a result, we take wrong steps and everything falls apart in an instant. Take a moment to think. How many times have you regretted a word you said in anger, a door you slammed, or an action you took? Anger is like a storm. In the moment, it destroys everything around you. But once the storm passes, all that's left is the wreckage. Great Stoic philosophers, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, used to say that anger is one of the biggest obstacles in life. Why? Because anger blinds the mind, poisons thought, and makes a person a slave to their emotions. An angry person doesn't act, they react. And like anyone who loses control, they are led to inevitable mistakes. Getting angry is like giving a weapon to the enemy. But this weapon is turned against us. Just as you don't know where a loose arrow will hit, the consequences of actions done in anger are uncertain. The worst part is that these outcomes often work to our detriment. So if the foundation of all your failures is anger, how do you get rid of it? Is it possible to live without getting angry? Or is anger an inseparable part of us? These questions have been asked by humanity for centuries. And the Stoics, the great thinkers who faced life's difficulties with wisdom, have long since found the answer. They knew that if you allow anger to defeat you, you are no longer the master of your own fate. If you want to learn how to manage anger, take a look at the Stoic methods, because they were able to remain unshaken even in the storm of emotions. So how did the Stoics control their anger? According to the Stoics, events don't affect you. Your thoughts about them do. The same event can have completely different effects on two different people. Why? Because the truth is not in the events themselves, but in the meaning we give them. The Stoics believe that what excites, frightens, or angers us is not the world as it is, but the interpretations we create in our minds. Imagine this for a moment. Someone shouts at you on the street. If your thought is, "This person is being disrespectful to me, they want to insult me," you will immediately get angry. But in the same situation, you could think differently. Maybe this person is having a tough day. Maybe they are under stress and it has nothing to do with me. In this case, it will be easier to maintain your composure instead of getting angry. Marcus Aurelius, based on this principle, used to say, "It is not the event that makes you angry, but your reaction to it." He had learned to control his thoughts in his daily life. Despite being the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, he never allowed any event to poison his mind. So how can we apply this? Every time you get angry, ask yourself, does this event truly deserve my anger? Or is it just the result of the meaning I've given to it? You can react differently to everything that happens around you. When you're wronged, when someone angers you, or when you face an unexpected difficulty, your mind may instantly be pulled toward anger. But in that moment, stop and think. Is this event truly powerful enough to cause anger? Or am I giving it that power with my feelings? Every situation is essentially neutral. It's the meaning we attach to it that determines its impact. Two different people can have completely different reactions to the same event. For example, if someone bumps into you on the street, one person might get angry and ready to fight, while the other simply smiles and continues on their way. What's the difference? Not in the event itself, but in the meaning attached to it. If your reaction determines the real power of an event, then you always have a choice. Does this really deserve my anger? Or is this just a game my mind is playing? That's why Stoics said that events themselves carry no emotional charge. We add the charge ourselves. And that's why anger is a chain. Once it starts to control you, you are no longer free. You've handed over the reins of your mind to your anger. In such moments, pause for a few seconds, take a deep breath, and think. What would change if I approach this situation more calmly? Will this event matter to me in 5 years? How would someone else behave in this situation? Does anger make me smarter and stronger now, or does it weaken me? Remember, your power lies not in events, but in your reaction to them. Everything life brings you is like a test. Will you be the one in control, or will your emotions control you? Therefore, assess events as an observer. Look at your life as though you're watching from the outside. Imagine this event happened to a friend. and they're asking for your advice. Would you recommend they get angry? Take nature as an example. The Stoics believed that the flow of life is beyond our control, just like the waves in the sea or the rising and setting of the sun. If we don't get angry when it rains, why do we get angry at people's behavior? As you change your perspective, you begin to stop being the victim of the events around you and start becoming the master of your own mind. Life's difficulties and unexpected events no longer become the forces that drag and control you. On the contrary, you gain the power to choose how you approach them. The real strength lies in being able to control your emotional reactions in every situation, remaining calm and steady even in the midst of chaos. Being someone who controls their mind, not their anger, is not simply about staying calm. It means understanding and leading your inner world, not allowing your anger or other destructive emotions to harm you. Think about it. If every time you got angry, you let that emotion run uncontrolled, it could lead to the destruction not just of that moment, but of various points in your life. But when you keep your anger in check, you gain true power, because you're no longer someone controlled by others, situations, or chance, but someone who controls themselves. And most importantly, you become the master of your fate, not the slave of your emotions. This is the key to everything. Most people believe they live under the influence of what happens to them in life. But in reality, what shapes life is not the events, but the meaning we attach to them. If you change your reaction to events, the flow of your life will change as well. When you gain inner peace and the power of your mind, nothing can shake you. You will no longer just be a person, you will become the master of your own destiny. Remember, you should own your anger, not the other way around. Leading your mind will bring you freedom. That freedom means no matter what happens, you will always stay steady in your path, in your decisions, and in your mind. Because true power is not found in the outside world, but within you. Now let's look at anger from another perspective. The Latin phrase memento mori means remember death. At first glance, this may seem scary and depressing, but in fact, this principle is the key to freedom. The Stoics believe that thinking about death makes a person calmer, more compassionate, and more composed. Why? Because you didn't come to this world to stay forever. The things that make you angry, stressed, or upset, problems that seem big to you today, one day will be completely irrelevant. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "One day you too will become dust. Your anger, your worries, your hatred, all of it will be gone. So would it really be worth getting so angry?" This thought helps you perceive life on a deeper level. If everything is going to end one day, why should we waste our time with anger and resentment? Why eat ourselves up over things that aren't that important? The Stoics practice certain exercises to manage their anger by reminding themselves of the inevitability of death. One day it may be your last day. Every morning when you wake up, remind yourself, maybe today will be my last day. Thinking this way, instead of getting angry, you will try to live calmly and with gratitude. Let death not scare you. Let it free you. If you knew you could die tomorrow, would you still get angry at what someone said? Would you still let little problems upset you? No, because you would realize that every moment of life is precious. Everything is temporary. Epictetus said that we should view our belongings, people, and even our own bodies as temporary things. He practiced this exercise. If tomorrow your loved ones leave you, or if you lose them, be prepared to accept it, because this is the natural flow of life. Thus, a deep question arises. If today were your last day, take a moment to think. If today were the last day of your life, what would you do? Would you continue to hate the people you're angry with? Or would you want to spend your time with them peacefully? If today were your last day, instead of getting angry, you would laugh more, love more, and show more appreciation. So why not start doing that from today? Choose calmness over anger. Every time you feel angry, ask yourself, does this situation really deserve my anger? What does this anger bring me? If today were the last day of my life, would I still get angry? If the answer is no, then you have already acquired one of the Stoics' most powerful tools, accepting life as it is and choosing calmness over anger. Remember, anger is a burning flame inside you, but the only thing that flame burns is you. So what will you be occupied with today? Anger or calmness and wisdom? There have been people in the world who have hurt you, deceived you, wronged you, and made you angry. Maybe these events are still fresh in your memory, and perhaps you still hold a grudge in your heart. But ask yourself, what has this grudge brought you? Have you taken revenge? Have you taught them a lesson? Or has this anger simply eaten you up from the inside? Epictetus used to say, if someone harms you, it is the result of their ignorance. Be wise and don't stoop to their level. This means that people make mistakes because they don't know better. Everyone acts within the framework of their own mind, experience, and worldview. They behave this way because they are incapable of doing otherwise. If a baby behaves rudely towards you, would you take it seriously? No, because you understand that they don't know what they are doing. So why do you take ignorant and thoughtless people seriously, loading yourself with anger and frustration? The real power of forgiveness is this. Let go of the anger. Forgiveness is not about freeing others. It is about freeing yourself. As you forgive, you release yourself from your burdens. Because anger is the poison you drink. And as you drink it, you fail to realize that it is not the person in front of you who is being poisoned, but yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal, "People make mistakes because they don't know better. Don't let them hurt you. Accept them as they are. After all, you too have your weaknesses." Accepting this doesn't mean turning a blind eye to others' cruelty. It simply means you are protecting your mind from their negative energy. Instead of getting angry, accept them as they are and move forward with your life. How did the Stoics learn to forgive? Observe events. Base your actions on logic, not emotions. Every time you think someone has hurt you, ask yourself, why did this person do this? If their worldview, upbringing, and experience led them to act this way, why should I get angry? Remember your own mistakes. The best way to forgive is to remember yourself. Have you never made a mistake? Have you never given anyone a reason to get angry with you? People are not perfect. You are not perfect either. So why do you expect perfection from others? Think about death. The person you are angry with and hold a grudge against will one day be gone. You will be gone too. So what is the point of holding on to so much resentment and living in anger? Forgiveness is not weakness. On the contrary, it is strength. Anger is beyond your control, but forgiveness is entirely your choice and your strength. Anyone can hold a grudge, but only strong people can forgive. Forgiveness will bring you freedom, because every time you think about the person you're angry with, you give them free space in your mind. That person lives in your head, feeds off your energy, and you do it unknowingly. Now it's time to make a decision. Will that person continue to live rent-free in your mind, or will you forgive them and be set free? Will you hold on to your anger and continue to poison yourself, or will you move forward in life with calm and control? Forgive, be free, because that's what you need the most. Observe yourself. The Stoics learned to watch themselves from the outside. Imagine you are an actor and life is a stage. You are simply playing a role, but at the same time, you are also the audience. When you get angry, upset, or furious, step back and watch yourself. Why am I so angry? Is this really that important? Maybe it's just my ego that's hurt. Epictetus said, people cannot control what happens, but they can control their reactions. If your mind reacts automatically to every situation, you are not in control of it. If you are a slave to your thoughts and emotions, then you are not truly free. How can you learn to observe yourself? Marcus Aurelius analyzed his feelings by writing them down in his journal. What made you angry today? Was your reaction under your control? Watching yourself every day will bring you mental clarity. See yourself as a third person. When you get angry, think, if this happened to someone else, how would I view them? Wait 5 seconds before reacting. When something happens, don't react immediately. Give yourself 5 seconds and analyze the situation. Maybe you shouldn't even be angry. Forgive. Be calm. Observe yourself. And remember that your strength is not in your anger, but in your ability to control it. Be in harmony with nature. According to the Stoics, everything has its own flow and natural course. Changing the order of the world is beyond our control. However, there is one thing we can certainly control: our reactions. Our true power lies here. How we stand in the face of life, How we deal with challenges, how we direct our emotions, and how we value every moment gives us inner strength. The Stoics recommend living in harmony with life's course rather than resisting it. Instead of fighting natural forces, we must align ourselves with them. Be like water, soft but powerful. Water erodes even rocks gradually and constantly, without causing harm to anything. It shows its strength without weakness, simply finding its way patiently and persistently. We should be the same in life, flexible, adaptable, and purposeful in the face of difficulties. Indecision and emotions can weaken us, but with calmness, purpose, and by finding our strength in inner stability, we can overcome all obstacles. So the conclusion we reach is this: anger has never solved a problem. Rather, it deepens it and creates new problems. Anger may provide momentary relief, but the blows it brings afterward, damaging relationships, making wrong decisions, and causing inner turmoil, lead to bigger and harder consequences. The angrier we become, the further we move from seeing the truth and finding solutions. Everything has its place in time. Fighting against the flow of life is not strength. True strength lies in accepting every moment as it is, taking control, and ensuring that anger serves us, not the other way around. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. See you again soon.